The next special guest on today's Pyro Radio show with me, Jay Fresh, is a guy who I feel like this conversation has been pending for quite a few months now. I feel like it's always been there, but finally we made it happen right here on Pyro Radio, live on air.
Yes.
You can hear him already representing Aberdeen and Scotland to the fullest. We've got RANSOM FA on the phone line. What's happening, bro?
Yes, my guy. What are you telling me, man? What are you telling me, man?
I'm good, man. And listen, I heard you had some madness at the weekend when they literally just wouldn't even let you in your hotel room. What was that all about?
Yeah, hi, mate. Like, it's been pretty hectic, but they wouldn't let me in because you know how they are. They're very pernickety. They're like, 3 o'clock is when you're allowed to be in. And I'm like, but I know your room's empty. I know that it's free. So just let me in. But that's how it goes, mate.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you came out of that ordeal okay. But we have to touch exactly. We have to touch on Aberdeen first and foremost. I want to ask you, what do you feel about the new Aberdeen football kit?
Oh, mate, I like it though. You know what? If I'm being truthful, last season was my favourite one for a long time. Our away kit, the gold piece, was lovely, mate. But the new kit, I just actually recently picked up one when I was in Aberdeen last week. But the new kit, I like it, man. For me, I'm an Aberdeen fan, so if the kit is all right, you get me? It's got the red colours. I mean, the colours are a bit different, but I'm a Don, mate. I just have to roll with it.
Yes, said fully with your chest. I love that. Do you know what? I've always got like a little. I feel like I've got a connection with Aberdeen Football Club. Not that I've ever watched them or followed them, purely because as a Man United fan. I know that Alex Ferguson did some incredible work there, like beating Real Madrid like a million years ago in the European Cup, Winners' Cup final and whatnot. So I always feel like there's a connection there, courtesy of Alex Ferguson. So we're kind of there, mate.
I'll tell you the truth. Alex Ferguson, before he went to Manchester United, he was at Aberdeen. You get what I mean? Beating Real Madrid, doing madnesses. So yeah. It's crazy to see. I think they beat Bayern Munich as well, so it's just all mad to see.
Wow, so there's that connection there. But this is where this is where, bro, we'll stop the chat about football, because being a Man United fan, it's not a good place for me right now. So we kind of just have to shelve that conversation.
You know what I mean? I was going to give you my condolences. Actually,
there we go.
I was going to be like, crap, man, I know what you're going through right now. I understand.
Feel that
pain,
better. Well, thank you for those kind words. But let's jump into like the music game for you. And there's so much for us to talk about. So I was really excited to connect with you finally. But first, let's kind of go back towards the kind of start. Now, for you and for people who've only kind of come across you musically like recently, you've been involved in this musical game. Your musical journey has been like a good decade now.
Yeah, bro, legit. I've been grinding for a while, mate. Especially trying to pioneer a sound in Scotland when there's not much of an industry. And then when I say Scotland, Glasgow even had its own little, like, when things happen in Scotland, it's usually Glasgow. So imagine I was trying to do that in Aberdeen and really push the scene forward. So yeah, my journey's it's been going for a while now, to be honest. But I can't complain because everything I've gone through has really helped me where I am now, if you get what I mean.
Definitely, man. And I guess obviously you've learned a lot along the way, as every musician does on their journey. But I want to kind of home in on the importance of RANSOM HQ.
Yes.
You know, and I want to talk to you or find out from you exactly where that kind of that not only where did it kind of come from, because that's a bit self-explanatory, having your own space, but also the idea that you're allowing it to be accessible for the next generation of RANSOM FAs and so on and so on. So tell me about that, please, man. That's
literally it, because obviously I'm not even in Aberdeen at the moment. I'm in London, working and just really getting a lot of stuff done. I was just in Scotland last week, but the aim for the RANSOM HQ was purely the fact that when I was coming up, I knew how difficult it was. I had to literally get all my equipment together. Luckily, my engineer, he's the guy who was helping me from when I started my first ever album. It's still my guy. So we all came up together. So he's the guy he's running the studio up in Aberdeen. He's the guy that when I was like first starting, he was doing all my mixing and recording. So it's just a case of if I could use all the stuff that I had on my mics equipment, because over the years I bought different equipment because it's difficult in an industry like the music industry when there's no infrastructure, and any studio we did have was not catered to like our generation and then my kind of music. So I kind of was like, I need something that's like accessible, affordable, and just stuff that people might be like, I could show them like, this is the way to go. So that's why the HQ came about. And then connecting with all the other people that I have up in Aberdeen, it just kind of started happening naturally. So we got a producer, we got engineers, we've got so many different rappers who come through and use the studio and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that people, whatever level and kind of step people are at within their musical journey, I love the fact that people give back to kind of either their community, their areas, or recognise the struggles or challenges they faced and try and assist.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? Because they know exactly what that's like. Like you said, no studio time, no knowledge of the equipment. The only studios available might have been like recording band studios that were crazy money.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Crazy money. And they don't have the knowledge that you need to achieve the kind of music you want to make. If that makes sense. So
I guess every time you do an interview or you have a conversation, naturally the Rap Game UK is mentioned for you, bro. Now, that was such a crazy platform and a crazy journey for you. What did you feel that you learned the most, not only about yourself, but also about the music game across that whole period for you?
Well, for me, obviously, I've been in the music game for a while, but with the rap game, it kind of was like all the different things I've been going through amplified and put into a short space of time so that you have to really work under pressure. So I'm good at working under pressure, but it allowed me to highlight certain parts of my musical journey that I was like, okay, cool, I could do this differently. And I could believe in my melodies a bit more because you're in an environment with a lot of other talented people, so you're just kind of like learning different things that you've all picked up along your journey, coming together and being like, okay, cool, that's cool. But I see how much melodies you're putting in, so I learned a lot about different melodies from some of the people in the house and just some of the people that came to speak to us. So yeah, it was an experience that I can't, I can't big up enough. But obviously for me, I always knew that I was trying to represent where I was from and use it as a stepping stool. So I was always in that mindset whenever I was doing anything on the rap game.
And there are times through it where, without dissecting the whole kind of series, there are times through it where there definitely seems that intensity, whether something was time dependent or you were asked to do something that was outside of your comfort zone. So, I guess from those situations, you not only learn what you're capable of as a musician, but also, I guess, personally as well. Did you feel like there was real personal growth across that journey?
Yeah, definitely. As I said, I've been in the industry for a while, so all the stuff that happened, it wasn't as if it was anything that was too crazy for me or something that I couldn't do, but just the way that, like, you had to do it in front of professionals, and as much as you know everything that you can only know so much. Do you get what I mean? No one knows everything, so there's always something to learn, and that's kind of what I learned on Rap Game, that this industry is a big industry. And also one thing I learned is that as much as you love music, you got to remember we're in the music industry. This is an industry, and an industry involves business. So it was just, I love business, but it was just amplified all those different thoughts I had. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, again, it was a pivotal moment, not only for us people watching it as fans, but especially for you guys in there, guys and girls, learning and growing and just finding out more. And naturally, there's been the spin-off, which is the Rap Trip, which is out on the iPlayer now, isn't it?
Yeah. Everyone go watch that now. Rap Trip. Me and my boy Foz out on the iPlayer right now.
Wicked. So to anyone who hasn't come across it, I don't know why, because it's been everywhere. It looks dope. I flicked through some of the episodes, but I'm not going to give away too much because we want anyone listening to Pyro Radio out there to go and check it out. But what I will say firstly is the vehicle you're driving, it looks kind of dope. It looks kind of cool. Yeah,
the little yellow rap van, that's what we were calling it, fam.
And what I did notice, I like that. What I did notice is that does Foz do all the driving?
Yeah, Foz does all the driving throughout the whole show.
Wow. Was that because he's not a good passenger, or was it a conversation? How did that come around? Because I'm a driver as well. I've always got to be hands on.
You know what it is? Forrest likes driving. And one of the main reasons is I don't have a license, so he had to do all the driving. So that was one of the main reasons to get on set.
The main reason we didn't want to film ourselves driving illegally for the BBC. We didn't think that was a good idea.
You get me? I can drive, there's no license yet. Just life came up, you know what I mean? But essentially, for Foz, the reason why he's driving is because he loves driving. That's part of his thing in the rap game. You've seen he always used to record in his van and stuff like that. So, like, it was kind of like, yeah, like, I'd done presenting before, and Foz was really going to be like the driver, and then we hit the road and we kind of just like have fun with it. So yeah, he does a lot of driving.
And you mentioned just there about Foz on his journey always had like a vehicle and was recording kind of on the fly. Is that where, without giving away too much, is that where the idea for that within your van for the show came from, or was that like a joint decision? Because I think that's a cool angle, you know, effectively having your little mobile studio on wheels.
What it was is, originally, when I was speaking to the guy, it was because I do a lot of stuff in TV. So one of the guys who runs the BBC Three was like, "Yo, Ransom, I want a show from you." And simultaneously, one of my other friends was working on different projects. So I met up with him and I was like, "Yo, I need to do a show. And what I want to do is I want to showcase talent around the UK. I want to go around and just meet all these different artists, and then we put it in like a show." And then he was like, "You know what would be sick? It'd be sick if like we got Foz, because he loves to drive, and then it was like a road trip and like a road trip, and then you guys come together and do it together, because when you're watching TV, it's the energy between two people is better than just one person, you know what I mean?" So
yeah, man. Well, again, the energy between the two of you on screen is dope. And like I said, to anyone who hasn't watched it, go and watch the episodes, because not only are they well put together and naturally interesting, but also, you know, you touch and you go to different areas and cities and places where people might not normally associate some of the sick UK music from. So I feel like not only 100%. Are you shining a light on these people in these areas, which is dope, but also you're inspiring anyone younger in those areas who then maybe sees the TV show and can see that you've supported. Yeah, 100%.
Man. That was literally the aim. And the amount of people that have reached out to me like, "Yo, I'm from this area. Thank you, man. Hopefully you guys get another series and you can come to me." And I'm like, yeah, man, that's the aim. We want to really just show that this UK rap thing is UK-wide, man. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people, because I've even heard people recently who've been like, "Oh, but it's been UK-wide for a while." But then you've got to realize it is UK-wide, but it doesn't, people in certain places still feel alienated and ushers, you know what I mean, like taken out from the scene. So,
and this
is what this show's about.
That's again why I think that the two of you together as kind of co-host, co-presenters really work. From the areas that you're both from, you can both associate with that. And, you know, the reason that I love the idea that you've done this and it's put together so well is that me as a radio broadcaster, like I haven't lived in London all my life, and I've always been supporting music, the artists who are all over. Like if someone sends me a track and I think it's dope, I'll play it, whether you've got one follower or a billion.
I'm pretty sure that we've connected before, and I've known of yourself, you've known of me, and like, do you get what I mean? And that's something I've appreciated. Someone who's based inside the scene, but actually wants to give time to people outside the usual bubble, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, again, that's a wavelength that we share. But talking about the new track Table. Come on. It is a vibe, and it's a very smooth kind of vibe. So I'll let you in your words explain. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you in your words explain the track, man, because I'm really feeling it right now.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, essentially what it is I do a lot of different kinds of music, because for me, music's emotion, and you never just feel one emotion. So when I was making Table, it was kind of like a celebration, because a lot of the people that I'm with now are still the people that I was with from day one, people that I've seen from a long time, that have helped me, people that have really had my back, that I could trust. So then it's kind of just like, this Table just celebrates that. When you see it in the video, you see everyone, we're all suited up, and it goes, if you weren't there when it's peak, that's shameful, you know what I mean? What you bring into the table kind of vibe. It's all about like, this is my people, we're celebrating what we've done so far and the achievements that we're still yet to achieve. and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's Table in a nutshell.
And of course, we live in such a visual world now, almost tracks without a video, like, unless they go viral, do they really exist? Which is mad, but as you said before, it's an industry. Now, the video for Table, I've written down here, clean and smooth.
Yeah, literally.
So
clean, smooth. I was wearing 4 different suits for the occasion.
Bruv, I saw this and I was like, wow, this is how Ransom's going on now. I'm like, he's just... Wow, levels. I love it, man. I love it. So the concept of the visual, how did that all come together? Because it's a real nice...
mad, fam. You know what it is, yeah? It's just about, since being in London, I've always just tried to connect. So that suit, it's a suit company that I've worked with before. So when I went to Crep's birthday party, they patterned me with one of the nicest suits I've ever worn. And I was like, bro, we need to partner up. So when I was doing this video and it was a celebration, we were shooting it on my birthday. And I was like, you know what, I want it to come with prestige. I want when you to watch the video to be like, yeah, okay, this is different. These guys are celebrating. And what showed that, the fact that if we're in suits, it's just, no matter what the occasion, if you're in suits, it's usually a celebration. Do you get what I'm saying? So we partnered with the guy, Mocky, shout out Mocky, because they did the most. And they literally just sorted us out, if that makes sense. You get what I mean? They sorted us out with suits and everything, and we just went in with the video, mate.
No, it's dope. And what I like, and it leads into my next question, not to sit, you've just dropped this track, not to be like, yeah, well, what's coming next? But at the same time, what I like about you, and I know that musically, with the music you do, you there is like a spectrum, there is like a real range there, you know. So for you, I'm interested in when there is a larger body of work, because you get to showcase so many different sides musically of who you are. So are you working on something at the moment, or is there something we can expect kind of soon? Where are you at with that?
Yeah, I'm working on loads of different stuff. So I've got my main project, which is going to be called Catch Me, I'm Local, and that's where Table's from. That's where the inspiration for Table. So all the tracks on that are just music that I've always wanted to make. It's music. It doesn't really fit into any particular genre that you'd want to maybe particularly listen to nowadays. It's just music that I make. So it's ransom music, and that's Catch Me, I'm Local next year. But before that, I'm going to drop an EP this year. So it's just full speed ahead, mate.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, I mean, you've got so much that you're dealing with right now, not only kind of creatively and documentary-wise with TV and all the opportunities that come off through that, but hard in the studio as well, man. So I absolutely love that. Before you leave us today, can you please announce your brand new track here at Pyro, and we will play it right now.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Ransom F.A. You're listening to Pyro Radio, and right now, this is my new track, Table. Shout out my guy, Jay Fresh. Spin the rhythm.